courses, ebooks, and they're literally not getting any valuable information out of it. How do I know? Because I was that person. And I'm like, dang, who's going to give out the real information? We want to know how to sell, how to build, how to launch businesses. We want to get in the inside. We want to know this information, right? We really do. And especially when you pay for something, you want your money's worth. So my business partner and I decided to launch the Ultimate CEO University. We're going to be going over everything, be showing you step by step how to build out your own courses, your own ebooks, how to launch digital products, how to get into e-commerce with little to nothing down, how to start drop shipping your own branded merch for your company. All right, guys. So you're probably like, okay, Coach Daze, how do I join? I'm ready to go. How do I get inside the membership? Click that link.
Listen, the Ultimate CEO University is in the words. We're entrepreneurs. We're owners. We're elite people. We're leaders. We're problem solvers. We're go-getters. We're doers. We're networkers. This is what we are. The Ultimate CEO University, you got the chance to see what's going on now. When I tell you, when you come through this and you got your listening ear, you got your student mentality, you hungry, you ambitious, you've been waiting to click up with like-minded people who getting it done, who executing, who have the proof of concept, who's proven from real estate industry to sales and marketing fields, e-commerce, authors, credit repair, you heard it before, but this is deeper than just offering those services. Where does hustle come from? Skills that we've been able to hone.
You must increase the hunger level, the desperation level, and you must get more focused.
Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up.
Yeah.
Peace family. Y'all know what time it is. Wake up and win. This is your reminder that winners do not wait for motivation. We take action and win, right?
Yes.
I'm your host, Coach Byron Gatsby. I got my powerhouse partner in purpose. She made sure I get that right. Coach Daze. How you feeling this morning, Dave?
I am feeling great. I'm feeling great. Definitely the mushroom coffee. Soon we'll have a sponsor.
On that mushroom.
Soon we'll have a sponsorship to the mushroom.
Don't take my audience with the most mushroom coffee.
That definitely helps. Just staying focused. I'm super excited. I think that this week, has just started off already amazing. My son's birthday was over the weekend. We got a chance to do some fun stuff.
Happy birthday for sure.
Thank you. And just, I'm really right now, I'm just kind of going with the flow, right? It's a winner's flow, but I'm going with the winner's flow.
That's a beautiful thing. It's a new week. It's a new day. Like you said, we're preparing for new wins, new wisdom, new everything, right? I'm so into the mantra space and the affirmations, and it's really, really, really amazing. I'm excited to just come here and just speak positivity, speak light into everybody that's out there listening. We want new everything. We're not waiting. We're going to get it. We're claiming it. We're being bold about speaking what we're after. And I was having this conversation. I was at it's one of my business partners. He had a cookout get together for his team, and I was there and I was talking to people about this, just giving them some motivation. And I was letting them know the number one thing that I notice about people is people don't boldly speak and claim aloud what they're going to do, And I understand if the introverts and some people are like, hey, I'm not going to talk about it, I'm just going to do it. I'm not saying talk about it as far as like keep talking about it, but claim that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, what you on? What you doing? Are you gonna be successful this week? What the numbers gonna look like? What's gonna change for you this week? Speak it out loud. Claim it. Grab hold to it. You're gonna run up a bag. Like I'm asking people. I'm making it a thing now to go around and just when I'm speaking to random people, You know, I'm asking them kind of about their goals and their purpose. And what I'm realizing is just me being intentional to ask people about it. I'm realizing most people haven't even thought about it in a year. They ain't thought about it in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. So they're just floating, you know, not the way you said, you're floating with purpose, but they're just floating without intent, you know? They're floating without intent. And I'm realizing, it's making me realize, because I'm asking these questions and I'm identifying how people are moving, it's making me even so much more intentional about everything that I'm doing, because I realize that's the variable. Like, just being intentional, just saying and doing what you say, and just living life on that. And when you live life on that, things go your way.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. I think you know, it's so funny. I saw two different people that were what people would typically call successful, you know, in business. They've achieved a lot. I can't think of their names right now, but it was two different videos that I saw. One of them is a famous podcast. And this guy, he interviews a lot of people, and he was talking about the purpose of, you know, speaking your goals, you know, bring it into fruition, like speaking, you know, those words of affirmation and claiming it, right? And that how you will be, you know, typically more successful because you're going to have people around you who hold you accountable. And then I saw someone else say, you know, well, don't speak it out loud. Don't speak it into existence until you do it. Not to into existence, but don't tell certain people, or don't tell people until you do it, because once it happens, then, you know, you will be able to kind of just, you know, reap the benefits. And they talked about how certain times, you know, when we speak it, it was a stat he brought up that was like 30% of people, or 30% chance of not accomplishing your goal when you speak it out loud, because your brain lets off a chemistry or a chemical that releases some type of like dopamine that makes you feel like you've already achieved it. So the energy that you would, I'm like, that's different. I never would have thought about it.
That's a different perspective. And that makes a ton of sense. And what it made me think about is, I still say be bold and speak it out loud, but what I have to just realize when you just gave that information is I'm able to speak mine out loud because of the environment I'm around. Like, I'm around winners all the time. Like, so we chatting, you know, we winning, we turning up, we kind of competing. Like, what's your goal? What you on this week? What's your bag looking like for the month? What you pursuing? Did you execute? We talking about our business ideas, holding each other accountable out aloud. Did you execute that, man? What's going on? You giving up on your dreams, giving up on your goals? Turn up, turn up, turn up. So I just had to, you just did make me realize that I've been able to speak and chat and champion, you know, my energy and my goals and my purpose aloud because of the people that I'm surrounded with, that it's welcome, right? So that's right. I agree with the silent guy. If you around the wrong people, be silent for sure. You know, but on a counter to that, we winning. We waking up and winning. We chatting. We turning up. What you on? What you doing? Let's do it together. Let's talk about it. Let's support it. You know what I'm saying? And if that dopamine that she's talking about kicks in, then we'll be here to help you tone it down and get back focused, right? So that's a real fact. But you know, just kicking it days is great, and we enjoy it, and we do it so naturally, so well, just moving in our purpose. But we want to touch on a specific topic today for our audience, and that's just looking forward to winning, right? So I know you wanted to really talk about that and nail that home. Just looking forward to winning. Talk about that with the people. And then I'm going to come in and we just going to rock out and really get prepared for a dominant, right? Use power words. A dominant, successful day and week.
Yep, I claim that. Absolutely. Absolutely. And if you are watching this, make sure that you comment inside of the comment section. Drop a comment, drop below some fire emojis so that we know that you are watching this with us. Let us know where you're tuning in from as well, because we are live and we do check the comments. So we want to make sure that we are acknowledging you, and drop some questions below
Most
too.
definitely, most definitely, family. Y'all come on, get in with us.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely. Absolutely. So looking forward to winning. You know what? With that, that has changed a lot for me, Byron. I think on this process, this journey, you've been with me the entire journey. And it's so funny because my definition of winning, I think actually changed. I think we have to start with the definition, because if we don't know what it means to us, then we could be looking on, external things. We can be looking outside of ourselves so much of what success may feel or look like to other people. You know, Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and all of that stuff is
That's one thing
superficial.
about these days, you gonna have them facts. You done looked up many definitions on me, and I realized I was just talking. I'm just saying stuff. You come
Woo!
reporting the definition back, and I'm saying what I think, But that's very good that you bring the definition, because it really brings things into perspective. Like, because right now, I don't even think I know Webster's definition of what winning is. So yeah, let's talk about it for sure.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So, like, I had to really sit back and analyze that. What does that mean to me? Success to me, and I'm going to bring it into the now. I'm getting excited because y'all know I haven't started really going into my affirmations like I was doing before, but I am going to be dropping some affirmations for y'all soon. But
With
I
that
just,
mushroom coffee.
I look, it is. Here it goes. I think it's kicking in. So when it when it boils down to, like success, you have to first have that definition for yourself. Like, what really is that, right? So I had to ask myself, what is success? People got this, they got that, they're showing this. I know, and I know a lot of it, you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You don't know what their life is like, right? And for me, success is bringing it into reality now, right? Waking up, having a joyful morning, a slow morning, right? And I can control that, right? A lot of times when we think about success and achieving all of these things, we can sometimes get to the point to where we're not fully satisfied, because it's going to always be the next new thing. It's going to always be something new, something different. And that's great to have an innovating mindset. But it can also be discouraging as well. And it can also seem, which I have dealt with, feeling like it's so far away. Right. So I've been doing some research just on how to really define your definition of success and really where you stand with things and how to ground yourself in that. And it's slow mornings for me. It's spending wholesome time, like even, with my children, really diving into those moments and getting as much as possible in those moments, making those memories, um, spending time, even on my business calls. Last night, I got a chance to, speak with Coach Byron. We talked about our game plan for the week. I was able to also talk to our executive assistant. And I'm just thinking, like, wow, even though it was 8 o'clock at night and I had this meeting, I'm super excited. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be able to be doing
Yeah,
this.
to be in motion, to be
Yeah. Like,
and what it is, the reality is, and I think kind of we don't see it as this, but to be able to live out your dream, like you're living out your
exactly.
dream, like you're doing what you want to do. Like, and when I say that, now I should start rephrasing it too, because like I get a habit of saying I'm doing what I want to do, and it could come off the wrong way. But the real thing is I'm living out my dreams. Like I'm living out my dreams. This is all from a vision, and we're just taking action and pursuing it and trusting it. Like we're doing things that have not been done before, right? And even if it has been done before, it hasn't been done our way. And
Exactly.
that's what I really, really that's so beautiful you say that. And I think people really need to start embracing that more. Live out your dreams. Like live out your dreams. That's a real thing. Like that's how we got everything that we got in existence, because somebody lived out their dream. They took action. They executed. Right.
Yeah.
So if we spend our days, you know, just focus on I'm living out my dream, and as I always say, putting that brick by brick piece
Yeah.
to your magical dream together, you will see it, and you will be living in your dream, or we can say living in your purpose, right? So that's amazing, Days, and just hearing you say reflect back on your preparation, it's like what are you preparing for? And I was able to see like your dreams, your thing, like what you desire to do. And that's a beautiful blessing for sure. You know, that is. And I encourage, you know, just everybody out there listening that we got to stop letting our dreams be stripped from us. You know, life strips our dreams, it strips our happiness, it strips
Yeah.
I talk about that childlike spirit that's necessary for success. It strips that away from us. It makes everything so, you know, scary, and it makes everything so like it's so hard, and not enough energy is radiating on the possibilities, right? And that's
Yeah.
why I love that, you know, this wake up and win that we do, because we're winners. We talk about winning like this is our space, right?
Mhm.
This is our space. This is our existence. We're not stripped here. Here is where, you know, magic can flow. Here is where dreams can be tossed around, and it's a real thing. And we want to
Yeah.
hear about people who, you know, have great ideas, and, you know, that they see themselves, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you know, in this magical place, this magical space that they created that started to here, and it started today, and it started from what we're talking about in this call, a winning mindset, right?
Yeah.
Winning mindset, dreamer's mindset. Just catch it, right?
Yeah.
Catch it. When you talk about a winning mindset and you think of the greats, you think of, you know, LeBron or Michael Jordan or Michael Jackson, you think of, you know, Oprah Winfrey, you think of, you know, any of these people who would be considered successful and great. They just lived out their dreams.
Yeah,
They just
absolutely.
lived out their dreams. They just they just pursued their magical thing, and they done it consistently over and over. They did it their way. They did it great. It got good. It got great, and that's what made them great. And that's what we're pushing. Live
Yeah.
out your
The
dreams. You
highest,
know.
absolutely. Absolutely. Becoming the highest version of ourselves, which is it, that even sounds so far, right? But it's right here. What can you do to live out that dream today? If your goal is to lose 70 pounds, 50 pounds, 20 pounds, are you taking 10 minutes to go, for a walk? How
That's
can we
10 minutes.
bring it in now? This is like massive shifting, right? I want to say quantum jump, right? But we don't have to get into that. But just really bringing
Yeah,
it in.
well, see, I get deep, but she'll get deep.
Yeah, you're bringing it into reality now. Like we don't have to wait to be great. We don't have to wait to say we're successful. No, because at the end of the day, it's so many people. We've heard the stories over and over again. It's people that get all of the amount of wealth that they wanted to get. They get all the material things and they're not happy. Okay. So I think on this, the wake up and win, really focusing on yes, making sure that you have a focus, making sure that you are being intentional. But before you can even have a focus and be intentional, I want you to reflect on what it means to you and be okay with defining your own, level of success. Everybody is not meant to run $1 trillion empire. That may not be your thing. You
Right.
may be super excited about knitting. You may be super
Mhm.
excited about like making custom earrings, or you may be super excited about playing football, playing basketball. Like whatever your thing is, all I'm saying is following that. And we're just really helping you. We want you to be intentional about focusing on that and then following it through. Seeing it through is what I want to say. Seeing it through. Really this whole entire week, we just started. We got 7 days. Every day is an opportunity. Every second is an opportunity for you to choose that. Because when you really think about what's on the other side of that, not choosing it, like what is it? Like it's not your happiness. And a lot of times it can be other people influences, like Coach Byron Gatsby just said. Don't let people kill your dreams. It could be other people's definition of success. Allow yourself to sit in who you are called to be and bring it into fruition now. And take you some mushroom coffee. I'm gonna have to say that
Well,
again.
yeah, look, listen, and just be bold about it. You know, be proud, be excited. You know, like that when I read that quote that said, you know, to ultimately be successful, we really have to tap into that childlike spirit. It
Yes.
just sits with me, you know, and it's been life changing for me because I'm running through the world like I'm a kid again, like I'm an adult, but just my curiosity, just my free thinking, just my ability to take risks, you know, just my ability to believe the impossible to possible is that childlike spirit, and it also just keeps me in a space of, you know, like children, they're not really bothered by much, you know, even when they get in trouble, they like try to get past that real quick so they can get back to having fun and their excitement and their joy and just kind of exploring, right? I think that we get to spaces where we stop exploring, and when we stop exploring, we're missing a lot of things, a lot of great things that's placed for us in our lives' existence, in our paths. I think we get in the way of it because we stop exploring. Like literally, what you are here to be. Everybody has a great purpose, right? But
Right.
just imagine if you kind of get thrown off or distracted or all those things that happens and that's dream killers, and you just stop there and you stop exploring. Just think about all of the possibilities and all the experiences and all of the wonderful things that you just, if you just tap into that childlike spirit and you get back to exploration and you get back to excitement and a journey of the things that can happen. Now, one thing about us on this show, like, right, we're all about personal development. We drill at home positivity, motivation, because it really is the foundation of success in life, right?
Yep.
Business is now the tangible, the machine, the thing. Like, okay, I'm feeling that childlike spirit. I'm lifted up. I'm motivated, Coach Gatsby. I'm ready to go, but I'm just not sure what I want to do, right? I'm not sure on what I'm good at, right? I'm just not sure. I need to figure that out.
Yes.
Guess what? That's not a problem that only you have. We all have that, right?
Right.
I'm not doing something that I woke up and said, "Oh, I just want to do this." I'm doing what found me through my preparation, and I'm going to talk about that, right? It goes back to the exploration, right? Because that childlike spirit just put me on a journey just to get around a certain group of people, right? So let's say I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know I was going to have books, and I didn't know about that I would have an e-commerce store, and I didn't know I would have a podcast. I didn't care nothing about that. But what I did know is I always wanted to be in a winning position and a winning space. So as I started to, you know, intentionally place myself in the atmosphere of success, whether I was watching podcasts like this, whether I'm getting inspiration from Wallow, whether I'm getting inspiration from, you know, all the other YouTube creators, all the other e-commerce people. I'm just seeing all of these ideas floating around, and I'm like, I can do it all. You know, I don't necessarily have to pick this one thing to do. I can do it all. I can learn it all. I can grow it all with my childlike spirit, right? I'm gonna just dive in. I'm gonna just, hey, if this person can do e-commerce stores, I can too. Only thing I'm missing is just the information, but I can go get that, right? That's all around me. Same way, if this person is selling books and got a podcast that's successful, I can do that too. All I gotta do is go get, you know, the education, the information, and my lights and stuff, and actually set up my mic and actually turn on and start talking and start taking action, and voila, I got a podcast, right? So for those of you all who out there who understand that, you know, I'm feeling good. I know it's something out there better for me. Like, get in that childlike spirit and take you some risk. Like all of the stuff that you like, that you admire, that you're watching other people do it too. You can do it better, but you don't know what you can do until you actually get started, right? And that's what we've created here. We've created, you know, a platform for exploration, right? For us to talk about all of these industries, for us to brainstorm, for us to talk about, you know, where we're going in the future, you know, AI, automations, all these opportunities that are here. And one of my mentors, he's extremely successful. Charles, shout out Charles Noonan. I gotta call out by name because one thing I learned from him that I carry with me too is he just always beats the money there before it gets there, right? He researches and he finds out, you know, what's gonna be popping, what's gonna be what's the next wave in business industry wise over the next 5 to 10 years, and then he starts to position himself to capitalize on it. And I watched him do it, and I'm like, that's a masterful plan. you know, because while everybody else is just keep on hearing about it, passing it by, I'm taking action on it now, right? So by the time I'm 3 years in and already done set up shop and position myself to capitalize as he does, everybody else just now, they waiting on the hype. They waiting for it to be so big to where it's already done happened, right?
Right.
You
So
gotta position yourself. Yes. You know, it just happened. It's happened already. So, you know, today is the day. Now is the time for you to start to put those pieces in place. And if you're starting, which I always tell all of my guys, all my people, we all entry level. We all start off entry level. So stop thinking, oh, I don't know how to do that, or I'm not good at that. We all started off not good. We all started off, you know, entry level, but we jumped in, and as we went along, we got better and we got better and we got better, and more than getting better, and we got the results we came to get, right? So
absolutely.
get started, you know, get started. Even if that's your research, your education. If you want to get in the real estate industry, learn it, right? Stop seeing like all my courses out there. I teach people, stop seeing these opportunities and going back saying, man, I want to get in real estate. Man, I want to wholesale. Man, I want to invest. But then you do nothing. Get the information. Let's start. Let's go right now, today. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta pay to play if you want the information. And then that's how you time travel. I mean, literally, it's possible to get that. We're talking about how can I cut the time in half and get the information now, you know, not waiting till you know, you can do YouTube University. We love YouTube University. We love, you know, going to source the information out. But if you have somebody that can teach you exactly what you're looking to get and you know you're going to do that anyway, see, that's the difference though. You got to go from interested to knowing like this is what you want to do. I think when you just are interested, it's kind of like it's easy to just coast. But once you
How did
define,
you on that days? How did you go from? When did you go from interested to knowing? And what? Talk about your personal process. And you don't have to go too deep, but just kind of when did
okay,
you know? When did you go from? Because we all go through that from
yeah,
interested to knowing
absolutely.
like this what I'm doing, this what I'm on, win, lose or draw, I'm in it. When did you? When did that
Yeah.
happen for you?
Yeah, this is actually a testimony. So here we go.
Oh man.
You know, I'm exactly you asked. I'm making
Go
sure.
ahead. Go ahead.
No, in all seriousness, you know, I gotta go back to my roots. You know, I gotta go back to granny, you know, talking to my mama. And when I was little, I would literally be telling them, I don't know why, but I'm like, I'm gonna grow up and I'm gonna I didn't know nothing about entrepreneurship, but I was like, I'm gonna have a lot of businesses. I'm gonna help a lot of people. I don't know where it came from. Like my mom, anybody, we just, you know, she went along with it. We've always played like imaginary games, you know, like so she played along with it. We would pretend like I was in a business. So I think it started there. And it's a study that says, you know, we know who we are up until about 7 years old. We have that time to, develop. And it takes 10,000 years to master a craft. So it's so funny how God will literally place you exactly where you need to be. So I got to start there, right? That's just something fun
Amen. Yes. Amen. For
to
sure.
about and laugh about, you know, yeah. But I think that I accepted who God called me to be, and I'm still growing, right, into the space because I'm learning. So I think that, you know, I'm just consistently expanding in that way. But what really helped me like make that decision is because I've had almost an 800 credit score, blew my credit on stuff that didn't do anything for me. I have made, you know, thousands and thousands of dollars, you know, young, 18, Byron, you know, you literally just learning all of the information that you taught me, getting into sales, you know, you were, you know, my team leader, then became, you know, the owner of the company. So I was able to go out to Ohio with you, and we were able to just grow and scale there. And I just learned so much. And I think that it showed me, okay, now I know that it's possible to do this. I'm sitting in here I don't have a college degree, but I'm making more than people that have a college degree. And I'm 18 years old, buying brand new cars off the lot. I didn't went through so many brand new vehicles, Durango, lease, no
We
money
get
down.
it in for sure. And that's a real thing. That's why I'm glad we got on this. Like, yeah, it is a testimony, Days. And I'm excited to hear that for you because I saw it, just being we were in sales and just being 18. I forget that y'all was making at 18, 19. Because I was 20, when I opened my office, I was 27.
Yeah.
And I'm in it, I'm in it, but just to know that most of my team was like 18, 19, 20, 21, and y'all was all making 50, 60 grand a year back then, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy. I don't think I was kind of seeing it from your lens. Like you really like, I'm 19, fresh out. I done learned these sales and I'm making, 50, 60,000 a year. I'm traveling and doing my thing. I
Yeah.
just hearing you say it. Like I can understand. I can understand. I know I was way high up too, but I like hearing it from that perspective because that is like a real. That's set you on a path to where you've been a winner. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's always
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've always had that energy in me to, because like I said, I saw my mama, doing things and doing hair, and my stepdad, he has a painting. I just always seen people moving around. I never seen that stillness. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna get my job. When I first started off, I had about 2 jobs when I was 16 and going to school. So I've always strived to do more. And I kind of forgot about the little childhood, dream. But it was just like I knew that I had that entrepreneur spirit before I knew it. You know what I mean? So I just went ahead and followed that. And I think that I kind of locked in once I realized, okay, people say you got to have the best credit. I had the best credit, but I didn't know what to do with the credit.
what to
I
do with
had,
it. A lot of
yeah,
people out there like that now got
yeah,
that good credit, ain't using it.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely, exactly.
So
Um,
I'm gonna show you. We can show you how to use it. Like real talk. We'll
yeah,
wake up and win, but this is what it's about. Like
yeah,
come in, like tap into our resources. Like literally, we got so many programs. The Wealth Partners referral, program. That's a community of ambitious people. Like we on this call for, I wake up and win an hour, 30 minutes an hour. But listen, the Wealth Partner Referral Network, the energy, just the knowledge, just the resources to everybody to share in a pot to be able to create incomes for themselves, literally just offer referring unlimited amount of products. It's crazy, right? So tap in, if you don't know, if you got that credit and you're not really sure about investing, because I don't want anybody out there to feel a certain kind of way because my story is crazy. You know what I'm saying? I did become a business owner. I own my own AT&T franchise. I was 27 years old. And I ran a multi-million-dollar company myself for my own personal income. I always had $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 in the bank, and it will blow your mind when I tell you that I didn't know nothing about investing. I knew how to run a business. I knew sales, but I didn't know about investing. I didn't know about. I wasn't using my credit. I was using cash. I thought cash was king. I was blowing the cash. I didn't understand other people's money. So it wasn't until I ran that race and I had to take a loss to stop and realize, like, man, I done made it blew through all of this money and I didn't make no investments. And it was one thing one of my business partners, he used to tell me, so I wasn't just like, oh, I ain't gonna make no investments. But what was placed in my mind at the time, my business partner let me know that, hey, your business is your investment. If you treat it right, it'll pay you forever, like any other investment. And he was right because I made a ton of money. But when I stopped treating it right, which is going back to personal development, when I stopped treating myself right, when I got out of control, when I was partying and when I wasn't as focused as I was to grow and build my company, then that's when my investment tanked. You know what I'm saying? So it was a very valuable lesson, Dave, and I'm glad we're talking about this because a lot of people out there literally right now in their head, they just don't know which way to go.
yeah,
You know
absolutely.
what I'm saying?
I've been there.
Yeah, we just don't know which way to go. And I wish it was, and there really was nobody around. Like all of the podcasts and people being able to give this information, all of these coaches and training programs, all the ones we offer, that stuff was non-existent. This was I opened my company in 2016, and it's crazy because it wasn't that long ago. But being able to go on YouTube and get all of this real-time coaching, gain resources, tool, that was non-existent back when I was a business owner. You didn't even have a thought to go to no coaches online. I was looking for my coaches in my real life, like off, it wasn't available to me like this. It wasn't people just online. They're like, hey, let me show you how to be a great entrepreneur. Let me show you how to structure your business, establish your business, invest, scale, grow.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have it wasn't really a lot of that talk going on. That's why I'm grateful for the franchise, Sigcor and AT&T, because they created that space of education and support and teaching within. So I was able to get it, right? But when I'm thinking about it, these opportunities, shows like this, people really giving you the game, giving you the information, willing to work with you. Because you guys out there listening, let me tell you this, right? Right now, you're somebody that's out there, you're watching this show, you're listening to us talk from wherever you are in the world on the screen, right? But those of you all who tap in with us, those of you all who take action with us, those of you all who take advantage of the programs, you guys are our team. Like we're a team. We're business partners. We're building together. That's what this is.
You got to get around people who remind you of what's possible. You got to get around people who remind you of what's possible.
Most definitely.
That's I think that's going to be the biggest piece. And even with, when I first started, like I said, I was interested. I didn't know, a lot. I thought, like you said, Coach Byron, it was the cash and then the credit. But then I realized that I was wasting my time with that because it's not doing anything for me. So either I need to purchase and get and hire a mentor, which I did. I used credit cards and everything that I had left to invest in myself. And that was the greatest investment. I think that took it through the roof, because once I banked on myself, my confidence went out the roof. I was able
to. We call that you gotta have skin in the game. If somebody ain't willing to put skin in the game, I don't even talk to them, because you can't be serious. One thing for sure, when you put that money up, you make sure you show up. You make sure that you commit and you actually know, I'm ready to get the game. I'm ready to grow and start. So definitely skin in the game has to be there. Not even for the people who are receiving it, it's for you. Like I know that if I invest $5,000-$10,000 or something, I'm taking care of it. I'm making sure I get the most and the best out of it. You know what I'm saying? For sure, 100%.
Absolutely.
I know that $5,000-$10,000 investment needs to turn into maybe 50, 100 for sure. And that's all. And I invest in coaches and mentors and conferences all the time, and I always get my money out of it, because the information, the value, and I'm an action taker, right? Do more, do less. And that's one thing that was great what you said, Dave, is you knew you was ready to take action. That's the key. So for those listening, you ready to take action, say it now. I'm ready to take action. Drop it in the comments. I'm ready to invest. I'm ready to build. I'm ready to grow. I'm tired of talking about it. I want to put the pieces in place break by break. I want to secure my family. I want to secure my future. I want to travel.
The doers will win.
Literally. Yeah, the doers will win. Do more, dwell less, and this is a real thing. And yes, this cult like we chant. Do more, dwell less. You know what I'm saying? Do more, dwell less. Like talk about it. Like get with it, because when you start taking that action, like it says on my book, when dwelling becomes doers, doing, magical things begin to happen. When dwelling becomes doing, magical things begin to happen. That's real.
Byron, I got to say this too. I know we're about to get off in a second, but a lot of the dwelling is on the bridge, the bridge. A lot of the dwelling is on the bridge. Okay, so I know I need to get to this point, but then you're dwelling on the problem versus becoming solution oriented and saying, okay, cool, I'm going to either pay my way into this or I'm going to invest 10 years in learning the skill. Like either way it goes, it's going to be a cost. So you got to make that decision and buckle down and move forward. You got, like Coach Byron Gatsby said, you got to have skin in the game. And I think that once we realize that we got to be convicted in our souls and our spirits, before we try to convince other people. We have to first be convinced within ourselves that we are who we say we are, not because of anything external, because this is what God gave you. This is what God has sent to your brain out of millions and billions of people in the world. God has shown you something, and it's up to you to see it into fruition. That's a choice,
I want to end there, preach, talk. You know what I'm saying? That's that's real though. That's real, and we have fun, but we're very serious. You know what I'm saying? Take action. Take action. Get in a game. This excitement that we're bringing to you guys. Come see what it's about on a up close, personal, deeper level. It'll blow your mind even beyond seeing us on the screen. This is it. This is a real thing. We're in real time. It's happening now. It's happening now. It's happening now. So get in that mode. It's happening now. Take advantage today.
Connect with us.
Yes, let's get going. Wake up and win. Each and every Monday, 11 a.m. We here. We getting it in. Like I said, we're preparing for our success. We're beating the money there before it gets there, and we're gonna be diving in with you guys because we have a lot of knowledge, experience, and insight to this artificial intelligence, to just business automations, just really making everything in your business, in your life flow and make sense. So we're gonna really be talking to you guys, and giving you some tips and some insight so you can really understand the shift that's happening and going to be happening with this artificial intelligence, and making sure that you guys are positioned and ahead of the curve to really be able to capitalize on it for you and your families, right? So we're dedicated, we're committed, not only that, we're very well experienced, do your research, right? Do your research and you will see that we are proven, we're experienced, we know what we're talking about, we know what we're doing, and we're ready for and waiting for you. Tap in, wake up and win, whatever you're doing. Have a phenomenal day, phenomenal start to the week. I'm fired up. I know with the coming off of this kind of energy and high, I know the day is going to be great. I'm looking forward to success after success after success. And I hope you guys are doing the same. Access our resources. The links are on this call. Drop some comments. Let us know you feel us. And we look forward to speaking to you guys again.